Peer Support Program's first year podcast. Today we have a very special episode about K-pop within the role of our lives as SDI employees and art students and creatives. So I'm going to have everyone go around, introduce themselves, name, major, and then also for fun, what song got you into K-pop and what year that was. Briefly, how old were you?
My name is Sam. I'm a senior majoring in journalism and public relations. And I know it was 2015. And off the top of my head, I'm guessing it was GOT7 Just Right.
Ooh, yes. Okay. All right.
Hello, my name is Sable. My major is computer animation. I work here at SDI. I want to say the song that got me into K-pop, I had to be 16. Then it was Home by 17.
Oh. Amy's so happy.
Yes. My name is Amy. I am a sports marketing major. And the first song that got me into K-pop was Achu Nice by 17 in 2020.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I'm Addie. I am a peer mentor here, and my major is music business. And I think the first songs I ever heard were Gangnam Style, and then Orange Caramel's Catalina. But when I actually got into K-pop, it was 2016, and it was Blood, Sweat, and Tears by BTS. So
Yes.
yeah. So I guess I just wanted to start out by asking, in your own head, how big of a fan do you guys classify yourself as? As in, how much time do you spend listening to K-pop, watching content related to it, or just, thinking about it in general?
I would say that since I've been part of, the K-pop community for about 8 years now, I think it definitely plays a big part in how I consume media. My screen time is horrendous. And it's mostly YouTube and Twitter, which is how I connect with the K-pop community. It's not healthy at all, and I can acknowledge that. But it definitely plays a big part in my life. It's not the only music I listen to, but I do listen to a lot of international songs. So other than Korean music, I listen to a lot of Arabic songs. So I would say probably around 5 to 7 hours a day of consuming Korean media. And I think that because for most of my life I kind of grew up with K-pop in a way, that it had a big impact on my life. Not necessarily all in a good way, but in a mostly good way.
What about you, Amy?
For me, it does take a big part of my life, I guess, but not really. That's my musical part, and I enjoy it a lot. I do also listen to a lot of different international music, just English, Spanish, Korean, Chinese, Japanese a lot. I love Japanese music. But I feel I surround myself with people that also like K-pop, so it makes it really nice to to have conversations with them about it. Especially since I didn't have that many social skills growing up, liking sports as a girl, because it's not very common. So having a ground that is K-pop, it makes it so fun to be around people, I guess.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna ask more about that a little bit later. But Sable, go ahead.
I want to say I don't consume as much Korean music media as much as I used to. I do listen to K-pop every single day, but I listen to music every single day. I kind of just put my songs on shuffle, and half of it is K-pop. But yeah, I used to keep up with them a lot on social media, but since the time I've been off, maybe an hour.
Yeah, I like how we have a combination of everyone's in a different place with that.
I aspire to be that.
Yeah, I think for me, I think I'm in somewhere in between, because Sam said, I got into K-pop when I was pretty young, 8th grade-ish, and that was the first a real attachment to music I had outside of just listening to the radio and not having strong opinions about anything. So I used to be every like almost the whole day when I like, especially during COVID, like that was like my peak attachment to K-pop. And now I feel like I'm a little bit, I have like parts of my own life that I find a bit more fulfilling. That sounds crazy, but like genuinely, like just like I have other things that I do that I find more fulfilling now. So it has reduced a bit, but in terms of music, it is like my most listened to genre still. And I don't know, I love it. So yeah. But you kind of touched on this already, but like, do you perceive your own relationship with it as like more positive or more negative and unhealthy?
I think my own relationship with K-pop can be more positive. It's like seen in my eyes as more positive than negative. I think it's only negative if you make it like an obsession, because I can admit that like a large part of me is like attached to it, but once I close my phone and I'm doing like real world stuff, like going to class or like talking with my family and friends or like partaking in like activities like that I just enjoy doing outside of like music consumption and media consumption, I can say that like it's positive if you're like having a healthy balance, which I try to do. But there are definitely negative aspects where I think it has affected not only my mental health, but like the mental health of like the K-pop community as well. And I think you only get to that point if you're like over consuming like K-pop media. Yeah. Which if you know how to keep a healthy distance between like just like being a fan and like overconsumption, like I think it's more of a positive benefit than like a negative impact on your life.
What about you guys?
I want to say I have like a love-hate relationship, especially like with K-pop. It has gotten me through like some tough times, and like getting into it at first was really fun, and like getting to know so many different groups was really, was a really nice experience. But going further into like the community and the culture, especially as like a Black woman, it could be a little bit tiring. Especially because not a lot of people understand your point of view, and there's like disparities in Korean culture and like Black American culture, but I think it's really interesting. I don't know, trying to find like a Black community within the K-pop community has kind of helped, but sometimes I really just need to like listen to something else. But yeah, because there's only so much you could do. Like, oh, I like EXO, but this person does this type thing. So,
yeah, I definitely want to come back to that. Amy, how about you?
For me, I think it's in a positive way. Because one thing that I really like about K-pop is the fashion. And I've taken so much inspiration from how they dress, because I couldn't really find my style growing up and stuff, and I think that I've picked and choose from like the stage or just like in the regular outfits and stuff.
Yeah, they're everyday outfits.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and I really like that, especially related to me. I think that they have a similar I don't know, like a similar approach to fashion that I want. It's simple but elegant but funny or stuff like that. I don't know. I found the relationship through that. And I also agree with Sam saying that, like it's the difference between the obsession and the just liking it.
Yeah.
Because I don't look at a lot of interviews. I don't look at their stuff outside when they're performing as much. More like their social media and their performances. But past that, I don't really know much about them.
Yeah. That kind of transitions us into the next question, which, going off what Sable said, like, when it comes to stuff like that, do you feel like your relationship with K-pop has changed or, like, evolved over the years? Like, you like it less or you like it more? Like, more of a negative view, more of a positive view? Because, personally, when I was younger, I feel like I was, like, not as much in the fandom spaces and not, like, seeing as many of the things I see now. So, like, I was enjoying it in just kind of, like, a distanced way. And I've kind of come back to that, but there was a middle point where I was just like so entrenched in seeing everything that everyone had to say about everything, and that was a lot. So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I just learning more about the culture and learning more about, you know, what that means for like different groups of people is kind of, it definitely made me watch from a distance at some point. At one point I was like completely into the culture. I was really into watching videos every day and getting to know more and more people and stuff like that. But at some point it was getting a little bit self-destructive because, you know, things like colorism exist and things like beauty standards exist, especially for like women growing up, especially like I was in high school when this happened and I was like struggling with self-confidence, and I feel like K-pop wasn't the best outlet.
Yeah.
Especially for you know, like I was a plus size black girl in growing up watching like pale, thin, like younger girls, you know, as a platform. You know, it was a little bit self-destructive in that way, so at some point I did have to like back up.
Yeah.
But now that I know and now that I'm aware, I could kind of happily watch it from a distance and happily like enjoy it from, you know, a certain way, you know. But it doesn't stop me from like listening to music. It doesn't stop me from like enjoying the people or the groups that I want to enjoy. It just proves to me that I should stay away from other groups, and it kind of shows like the true colors and like what to avoid. So
yeah, personally I've definitely felt like a shift from when I was younger and like to now, because when I was younger than all the idols that were debuted, it was so easy to just be like, this feels distant from me and this is just like something that older people deal with. And now like all these people are younger than me and I'm like, this is crazy.
Like, yeah, because I don't listen to kids, bro.
Yeah. Like these are children and people are talking to them like this, or they think like this about their body or the way they look, and it's just that is really difficult for me. Like sometimes I can't even get through like a full video of content because every few seconds there's a comment about someone's body or like someone's appearance, and it's so exhausting secondhand.
Especially with girl groups.
Yeah.
And especially with, oh, I remember this video, and I say EXO specifically because Kai, and they would talk about, oh, Kai is the darkest, oh, Kai is darker than...
Like, what?
Darkest.
And he's like normal tan.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And I'm like, thank you guys.
He's not even hitting the medium spectrum.
Exactly.
That's me on a pale day.
No,
Like,
please, like, he is definitely, but just like consuming that media, it really helped me like get into, I can only enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
I still listen to EXO.
Music's good, everything else, but yeah, I feel like there's like a cognitive dissonance sometimes. Everyone's doing thumbs downs right now. But I feel like there is like a cognitive dissonance sometimes as a K-pop fan of being like, morally, this is ridiculous, but then like you're still engaging with it to some extent, so just kind of like that's like a journey that everyone goes on of like, what am I supporting right now?
I think the movement with like Wonyoungism is like crazy, like Wonyoung.
You have to explain that for our viewers.
Well,
who
yes.
don't know.
Wonyoungism is like this like movement by like little girls that are into K-pop that like, I'm saying little girls because most of them are underage, but like where they want to like be like her or like act like her, and it's like there's like TikToks going around like, how can I be like the Wonyoung of my school? And it's like, I want to be pale, I want to be skinny, like I want to be like super thin, like to the point where it's like very unhealthy. Like it's a very unhealthy obsession with like physical appearance, and like if you achieve that physical appearance, like you'll be popular, like everyone will love you, like, and I think like, I don't think that Wonyoung had ever put that on anyone. Like I think it's just how people associate her.
Yeah, definitely.
With like certain like societal expectations, and like that compared to like other K-pop idols like getting hated on for like being like bigger, but it's like that's like a normal weight.
Yeah.
Or like being darker and it's like just someone who's tan.
Also just like the way that we talk about people, like I find it so backhanded when someone calls a K-pop idol healthy looking, because it's like, one, okay, two, like the comment on the weight in general is just unnecessary. Like it's just like a constant there's just constant commentary on how everyone looks and acts, and like even when it's not directed towards me, I feel secondhand exhaustion for it.
Yes.
So yeah.
Definitely.
So do you guys feel like your relationship with K-pop has changed over the years too?
Yes.
Yeah.
So much.
I mean, yeah.
Mm.
For me, it's just that I got more into it, but I also pick the groups that I want to support.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how it went. I mean, I wouldn't listen to anyone that wasn't 17 for like 2 years.
Yes.
That wasn't even
crazy.
BTS.
That's
It was
crazy.
unhealthy. I was like, people would tell me like, this K-pop group fire. I'm like, no.
No, 17.
Oh my God.
17 and 17.
He said, well, you
So-
haven't listened to this.
I was like, you know what? I need to open myself to more groups, and then I didn't discover BTS. Okay, like I knew they existed, but I wasn't like into them, right? And then I started listening to them, and I was like, oh, add some songs to the playlist. You know, it expanded from only being 17 to being like more songs or more groups. But again, I focused so much on like if I like the song rather than if I really like them.
Yeah.
But I obviously I do have like, oh, I have my bias and I have the other bias from the other group. Like it's normal, I guess, in the like K-pop community. But I did learn the lingo, like the lingo for K-pop.
Yeah.
I think that's how much it changed. I just recently started buying my albums, you know, like the purchase of stuff like that. I've been listening to K-pop since 2020, and I got my first album like a few months ago.
Yeah, that
Probably
is
like 3
something.
months ago.
That's like such a shift in your fan experience. I
Yes.
was reading a study about how like K-pop literally affects like teenagers like consumer behavior in terms of like them actually like enjoying consumption and like thinking about it, and like that being like a double-edged sword of being positive in the sense of like you're saving up money for something you want, but also like now you're locked in terms of I'm buying things like
Yeah.
Right, but I'm earning now my money. Like I didn't buy my first album until I started working here, like working at this office, because I was getting an extra little money that I could spend on like my little things. And I save every paycheck. I save like a save an amount so I can shop keep up products, because I think it's kind of nice. I didn't grow up with like, oh mom, I want my One Direction poster on the wall. You know, she's like no posters on the walls and stuff like that. So now that I have my own apartment, I have my own money, I can spend it in my little pleasures.
Brown moms.
no
Posters on the wall. Take those men off your wall.
Okay, I'm gonna ask 2 questions. The first one is how many albums do you guys have,
God.
and then the second one is how many photo cards do you have, and this is targeted towards a specific person. But
My bad. Well, my bookshelf is crazy.
just
And-
an estimate.
Just like how Amy said, okay, to defend myself, like I said, I've been into K-pop for a long time, and I started like getting albums like on the rise of K-pop. So like in 2018, like when they actually started introducing albums into Target, like
in the US.
yeah, I started collecting then. So I think estimate, I have all of BTS's albums, so I would say that's like what, like 35 at least.
Ooh.
At least.
Yeah.
Destroyed me in one.
No, it's bad. Don't get into that. I would say overall, I think maybe like around 60 albums. And photo cards, I actually counted them the other day. I have 280 photo cards.
Wow.
But yeah, when I was younger, I wasn't able to buy anything. And I think like a part of like what made me like want to start collecting is I've always been a collector. Like even when I was younger, like I used to like collect keychains. Like I used to be one of those people.
Yeah.
So like I like collecting things, but like when I was younger, I wasn't able to like buy it myself, and like I never had bought concert tickets or anything. So like now I have like really bad FOMO of like not getting stuff.
Yeah.
So like
That makes
I
sense.
miss out.
yeah, I'm like traumatized from not being someone who had FOMO before, and now I have really bad FOMO.
Yeah.
So like I buy everything, I buy a lot of stuff, and that's something I'm trying to work on. So I understand I can acknowledge how unhealthy it is, which is what I pride myself on. I know it's bad. Don't be that.
We literally started with the grand finale, but after we go around, we definitely need to get into the photo card economy and album economy. But go ahead, Amy. How many do you think you have?
I have 7 albums,
7
and I
albums.
only bought 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them were from a gift from my boyfriend, actually.
Mm-hmm. So you said that you didn't start buying them until you started this job, which was
Yes.
last semester. So
Yes.
pretty recent.
Yeah, pretty recent. So I've only bought 5. And photo cards is different. Like, it doesn't make sense that I have like 120 photo cards because I only have 7 albums.
Mm.
But it's because I bought the
What was that?
Oh,
yeah.
I bought the Daikon thing.
Those come with a bunch.
If you buy that brown box,
It has like
comes
50
with,
photo cards.
No,
It has
it comes
like
with
100.
102 photo cards.
102.
102.
Wait,
I'm not lying to you. It's a
Would you buy Mark?
Well, like 14 photo cards were from Mark.
That was Amy's lucky day.
That was my lucky day.
Okay,
It was
slay.
amazing.
We were
Yeah,
speaking
so-
about NCT, Mark. Anyways.
Yeah, it was 40% off. Come on.
What about you, Sable?
I don't have a lot actually. I have like 4 albums. 2 of them I bought. They were both 17. Get
Mm.
into it.
Yes.
I only have like 5 photo cards, and I have like a bookmark
Mm.
of Josh.
I think I have around like 25, and I don't have all of them with me here. And I don't think I've ever been like a super big album buyer. Like, I used to when I was younger. I used to be like, if I even remotely liked an album, I would buy it. But now I think I'm a little bit more like, do I want the photo book? Like, do I want
Yeah.
to physically have this? So I've gotten much stingier with my purchases. And then with photo cards, I would probably say like around double that, just because I get them with my albums. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's I have not fallen into the photo card economy yet, and I'm trying to like, resist it with all my might because it's so tempting. But Sam, you can probably speak more to the psychology of that.
Well, yes, I wrote multiple articles about how K-pop's only popularity, like in the U.S., like the boom in K-pop, is all based on consumerism,
Mm-hmm.
and especially with like limited edition items and like photo cards and like how it all holds like technically like a significance when it comes to like feeling like you're part of like what's it called, like you're part of something exclusive. And like I said, I say this because I'm part of it, so like I'm acknowledging it. I think there's a lot of like, because like when K-pop albums first started getting distributed in the US, like it was 1 photo card per album, or like with BTS, like I know specifically with BTS, like it's 1 photo card per album.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've gotten to this point where it's like 5 billion photo cards per album, or like I know with 17 specifically, like they've been put under a fair trade investigation
Yeah.
because they had like 7 different versions of albums, and there's like how many members are in the group? 13.
13.
And like there's like 5 different versions in each album, so like it's like a total of like I think 270 photo cards.
Yeah.
And it's like something that K-pop companies have capitalized off of because a lot of fans want to feel like they're part of something exclusive.
The fair trade thing was also based off like the probability of how probable you are of getting a certain member. So like if they're purposefully like reducing certain numbers, like then you have to keep buying more to
Right.
It's a
complete the
gamble.
set. So
Right.
as you were saying.
And also there's like pre-order benefits like through like companies like From and Makestar, and like all of them are known for like having specific photo cards. So like if I want like a cute photo card, like I'm most likely gonna get it from Makestar, but it's like it's just marketing to make you want to buy more albums.
Mm-hmm.
Like there really is no significance like behind any of the photo cards other than what fans attribute to it. And even idols themselves have come out and say like, this is just a picture of me, like
Yeah.
don't spend that much money on it. But I think now that like photo cards, with how many are coming out and how many people are into collecting it, like technically all of them have become more rare than what they would have been before. Because like they're limited in a certain way. So like if you order it first, like you're able to get it, or like there's like fan call winner photo cards, or like fan sign winner photo cards and exclusives that come with different things. So like if you're buying all these and you feel like you're part of like an exclusive community, there's definitely like there's definitely kind of like a system where it's like you feel like you're more what's it called, like when you like
The superiority.
yeah, there's like a superiority complex associated with collecting photo cards.
It's like you have something that other people don't have.
I just went to a trading event the other day, and this girl brought a big binder, and it was literally like,
I'm waiting for someone to get robbed when they do that.
Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. Don't tell anyone, but I literally was. Oh, my bad. Okay. I was about to grab her binder and start running. I'm not even joking.
Sam saying don't tell anyone on recording is so funny.
But like, I was about to grab her binder and start running because like this girl was not trading any of the photo cards.
She was just
selling.
holding them?
She just wanted to bring it so
and
that
like
people
brag.
can be like, oh my god, like I'm so jealous of you. And it's like,
that's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
and it's like that's what photo cards have become now.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't collect it because they enjoy it. Like I can say I collect it because I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that one day I'm gonna get over it and I'm gonna sell them all. And honestly,
And
I'm
then
kind
you're
of
gonna make bank.
and I'm gonna have
Yes.
12 bands in my pocket. But this girl and other people that were at that trading event, like they have like their own cliques, and like they just want to brag to people about how much money they've spent. So like it's like a economic, like there's a economic
social
difference
currency to doing that. Like it's literally like a bragging thing.
Yeah.
But also it's funny.
5 marks.
5 marks.
Yeah.
It's like there was the ecosystem shift of like photo cards being kind of like a fan black market thing, where like a fan black market where like the idols aren't getting the money that people are spending on their photo cards. Like
Yes.
people will pay $50 for a photo card. I don't see none of that. But that shift from it being just purely that, because that still exists, but the shift from it being that to now like Make Star and From and like Apple Music or whatever, like all of these different companies being like, well, if you buy this, we'll also give you an exclusive one. So like there's been a shift from it just being like photo cards have a lot of value to the fans to now these companies like picking up on that and being like, how can we also make money off of this? But yeah, in a more positive direction, as creatives, we've been talking shit a lot, but anyways, as creatives, do you guys think that K-pop has influenced your hobbies or like even your career trajectory? And if so, how?
I feel like there's more of a demand for animators. I feel like it's like that weird time where they're trying to get into more experimental stuff. So you see groups like New Jeans where like they'll have nice visuals on screen, or they'll have like, you know, I feel like it offers more opportunities to animators. But I feel like, you know, something like that is constantly changing. Shoot, they just better offer me a job. Literally. That's
Hire
all I'm
me.
saying.
Hired.
What about you, Sam? How has being into K-pop affected your career choices and trajectory?
I have I'm getting a communications-based degree, and I think there's been a rise in K-pop companies branching out to US, like to like a US audience. And I think my dream job, which I've given up because it's not a realistic job, is like being on like the marketing team of like a K-pop group, or like specifically like for like a comeback or like an album release. I think that K-pop's like popularity has definitely opened up communications jobs for everyone, and it's fun to see how creative like it gets. And the things that I'm doing with my career right now definitely have like been K-pop related. Like I volunteer for a magazine called Pop Toki, and I've been able to like write like through press releases or like go and cover events, and it's definitely given me bigger opportunities. But also it's rewarding to know that like the work that I'm doing could be like a gateway into like, or like a step into like a group's fame, like in the coming years. And I think no matter what like I choose to go into after I graduate, K-pop's biggest like impact is social media, which is something I'm going to be part of regardless, especially with my jobs. So it's definitely impacted my choices, but I don't think it's just like something job related, but it's something that I can put on my resume that I'm having fun with, which I feel like is the most important part of like building my experience.
What about you, Amy?
For me, it's obviously I said the fashion part, but there's also like the impact that they have right now in just anywhere. There was recently the Korean Open just recently started, like 2 years ago, and Yin from BTS shows up, and the Korean Open just like launched. Like they got like 70 or something, like 7 to whatever plus sponsors for the next ones, and they extended the contract to have the Korean Open for longer. So definitely there's a lot of, like, for me as a sports marketing major, obviously you want to look into now the influencer marketing and all that stuff, and like see who you can reach. And I think that something that a lot of sporting events are missing is literally bringing a K-pop idol to their sporting event.
Yeah,
like
that's such like a thing.
Why are you not doing this? Like,
that
it's
is
right
so
in front of you.
That is such a good connection. I feel like I have been doing some research on like luxury branding, and like that is like pretty popular right now, like fashion. But
yeah, exactly.
Sports marketing.
Like, invite one of them to your paddock.
I think like
wait.
I feel like they could, like, for sports marketing specifically, there's so much that they could do with K-pop that they just choose not to. Like, you have like these K-pop idols who, like, every weekend, like, they're posting them going playing tennis or like going to play soccer, or like
rock climbing's becoming a huge
rock
thing.
climbing, like, or like whenever K-pop groups go to Europe, like, they always visit like a Premier League like stadium, and they all follow Premier League, especially with like different with like different Korean athletes like being like the face of like some of these Premier League teams. Like, there's so much that they could do. Even in America, like, there's so much they could do. Like, there's so many idols that are into tennis. Why aren't you inviting them to these opens? Or like, I think the best case of like something that has worked is like Yoongi with the NBA.
Oh yeah.
And like
LE SSERAFIM with the NBA.
And LE SSERAFIM with the NBA. And like the only group that's doing, or the only company that's doing it right, I don't want to admit this is HYBE. Like,
don't want to give HYBE too much credit.
They don't get any credit. All they get is a good job from me for that aspect only.
You get one thumbs up.
One thumbs up. But it's like, if you give like these idols a chance to like be part of something that they've admired for a long time, it's like you're pleasing both the idol but also like the fans that, because like I'm a really big Bulls fan. Like, when they dropped like the Yoongi and Bulls merch, like I was ready to buy all of it. And it's like, it's working for them and it's benefiting their company, but also it's giving the idol a chance to be part of something that's like not part of their everyday lives, like being part of like the NBA. Like, that was a goal for him too, like a big dream that he had like before he even became an idol. So it's like,
that feels like an organic partnership too,
right?
Yeah, exactly,
like compared to some of the luxury partnerships that I see, like it's just hard for me to like. Amy is showing us a picture of her at a sports game.
No. I was trying to say like, here, my product.
You're fired, actually.
My product.
My product.
Matthew is gonna be like, what am I listening to when they edit this?
I said Minky likes recording podcasts.
Oh my god. Anyway.
We're gonna have to cut them.
Yeah, that feels like a more organic partnership than some of the luxury partnerships, just because like I understand, like with New Jeans specifically, like they're really young, so sometimes when I see them like, oh, like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, like Dior, like I'm just like, I don't associate them with these things, but it's working for them anyways. But yeah, that is interesting. Someone take notes on this spot. Whoever's listening, take notes.
Somebody.
But in terms of myself, I think that being a music business student, like almost everyone has like some sort of fandom origin story that got them into wanting to be part of the music business. So like that was like a very natural transition for me. But yeah, I don't know, like I think that at some point, like Sam, like I wanted to work directly in the industry, and like I mean that's still something I'm open to just because I have so much knowledge about it, so it feels like a natural thing. But like I just think K-pop is such like a delegated music industry comparatively to the US. Like the artist is not necessarily doing, the artist in Korea is not, in K-pop is not doing the same things that an artist in the US is doing, which some people look down upon, but I think that's very cool because like being like a creative director is something that you might not necessarily have the opportunity to do in the US without being an artist yourself. So like all of these different positions being doled out to different people who specialize in it, like I think that's really cool, and I like that like there's like so many working parts to a project that not everyone is like the face of necessarily. Like all those parts are delegated differently. So like being like an A&R and like working on a K-pop project and like getting to figure out a group's concept and like what direction their album is going and like being involved in the marketing of it, that would be super cool. But I also am contemplating law school, and I mean part of that is just because I want more job opportunities, but another part of that is just like there's so much real world application with K-pop specifically. Like everyone's always in a lawsuit for some reason. Like everyone's suing their company all the time. So I just like the things I learn in my classes now, like seeing those played out like in the news is fulfilling in a weird way. Like I just feel like I'm doing something productive. And I feel more passionate about protecting artists from just like bad contracts and stuff like that. So I think I've been pretty affected by K-pop influencing that.
I briefly wanted to jump in to invite you to fill out our listener survey. Our first year was made by and for students to address topics that students see as potential barriers, concerns, or intentional joyous moments to get from our first year to graduation. Go to bit.ly/OFY feedback. That's bit.ly/OFY FEED to fill out the survey. As a thank you, you will be entered into a raffle every semester. Thank you, and now back to the episode.
But for a fun question, if you guys were working in the K-pop industry, what would be your dream position or project?
Not the idol.
Me neither.
Not the idol. I know that.
Would you want to do graphic design?
I would want to do graphic design, more like motion graphics.
Ooh,
like survival shows when they have like the motion graphics, the labels.
Yes.
I feel like I would get into that.
That's cool.
Hire me.
Yes.
Yes.
Hire Sable.
Yes.
About you?
I would want to work on a project type of like the Going 17 and
Yes.
like plan what they're gonna do.
Like variety show planning?
Like not the writing, but like because I'm a marketing, maybe like just come up with the ideas and stuff like a marketing person and coming up like, oh, you're doing Mafia today.
I like that.
Dress like Spice.
I think being like the PR representative for ATEEZ, I think I could do it for them, and I think I would exceed, I would exceed the expectations that they would put, because I'm already like an admin of like a ATEEZ fan base, and we're like pretty big. So I'm like, I'm doing their work for them already. They just don't want to open up
their doors for Sam.
Yeah, they just don't want to open up their doors for me because they don't have a like a international team, which I think is like very important for like these K-pop groups to have, especially because K-pop is so global now.
Yeah.
But like, I think being a representative for like a group that I really like could be cool, because I'm already doing it anyways. Like I'm already their PR manager, so I'm like, I think it'd be fun. Other than that, like I really do want to be on like the marketing team of like like an album or like a comeback. Like being part of like the creative team, I think too could be really cool. I always think about New Jeans' packaging for their albums, and I think like I don't listen to New Jeans, but like looking at like how their albums are packaged and how they're marketed for like physical like items, I think like being on a team for that could be really cool.
Yeah, that does sound cool.
That'd be so exciting.
Yeah. Dream big.
Hire
Dream
us.
big.
Dream big.
Yeah. I would love to like put a group together, like the scouting and then like just like the development of their identity and just seeing things through. Like I'm like a huge fan of groups that no one knows in terms of like our office.
Nugu.
And I'm a Nugu group lover, and I think the reason for that is just because like I feel like the concepts tend to be a little bit more niche and just a little bit more like out there.
Yes.
And I just like that you have like the underdog to root for, like, and just like see how they develop, and I would want to be a part of that. And also like in terms of like a positive influence that K-pop has had on me is just like learning a new language. Like I feel like I'm pretty proficient in Korean. Like I could have conversation. I'm not like business level proficiency, but I'm like working towards that. So I would love to work at like some intersection of like the US market and the Korean market and just be involved in the global music industry. So yes, but
Hire us.
hire all of us.
200.
Okay, so wrapping this up, this is our first year peer support podcast. So I kind of want to talk about the community that being a fan of something creates. Have you guys, I mean, I think Amy talked about this a bit, but has it helped you build connections, or do you guys prefer enjoying it privately? I feel like people look down on being a dedicated fan of something as like, because it's like a waste of time. Like that's always like the assumption, but what value has it brought to your lives?
I think for me specifically, other than like socially, I think it's definitely helped me network in business or like in a communications role. Like I've been able to cover like Lollapalooza and KCON for like a magazine, and also been able to like do interviews or like just have connections with other people. I think even outside of like the magazine that I work for, like my friends on Twitter like know what I'm majoring in. So I've been able to connect with them. Like there's one girl who's working on Lollapalooza right now. There's another girl who is doing a tour, like she's part of a touring company and she's like touring K-pop groups. And like other than like being in like a social community, like it's definitely been able to get me different places. Like for after I graduate, like I have connections now because of like my interests and putting my interests in like my occupation. Socially, like I think being able to be part of a community that is based on interests makes life like more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And you're able to form friendships and find connections with people just based on the things that you guys like. Like going to a concert and being able to meet people that I've only like talked to on Twitter. Like I feel like that's really gratifying for me because it's like now like I see that you're like a real person and not just someone I made up in my head. But like
not just the voices in my head.
Right, no, literally. And it's like you're not just people in my phone, but like it's fun to be able to connect with people like on a social level, but also on a way that it's gonna help you like in like the job world.
Yeah. What about you guys? Passing off the mic to each other.
I think I already said it.
True.
I feel like it's so comforting, like meeting other people who are into K-pop, but also know like the positives and the negatives and like the setbacks, the threats, the opportunities, but also like the weaknesses.
SWOT analysis.
Yeah. I just had to do that assignment. But people who are aware of how it affects people socially, of all like different groups, and they know that it's like a setback, I feel like it's always nice to have a conversation with them because I feel like they truly understand. Like on social media, like I'll go on there and I'll like do a rant. I'll be like, BTS didn't pave the way, Black people did, and I just feel like I can't apply that to Twitter the same way I can apply it here.
Yeah.
But just like people who are like educated on the K-pop industry and how it goes further than like visuals and your favorite people a part of groups, I feel like is really like comforting because people know like what the industry is actually about. And, you know, it's not entirely good, it's not entirely bad either, or it provides opportunities for people, like for some people, but like setbacks for others. And I feel like it's like introduced me, I feel like it's a good way to like for people to get to know you, and or I don't know, like how just how like people get to know you and how you think about it socially and how it affects other people and how you acknowledge that.
I feel like it's a conversation starter for me, or like a social situation like softener for me. Like I don't know, I think being in an art school and like there's a lot of queer people here, there's a lot of people that like K-pop, like it's pretty easy to find people here that like K-pop, and it's easy to like create a starting relationship with them. But as like any fandom goes, like the things that are uniting us are like media, and we all engage with it differently.
Yeah.
So like past that, it's not immediately gonna be like, oh, we're best friends because we both like K-pop.
Yeah.
Like it obviously matters who we are as people, like our moral values outside of that, and all these other things. So like I think it's a nice thing in my life where it's like Sam said, the internet aspect of it, like just being able to bond with people that you probably wouldn't be able to talk to otherwise, and like meeting them in real life and stuff like that. That's super cool. And then in real life, like it having motivating factors like in my career, and like it's gotten me to places that I probably wouldn't be without it, and just like it is a driving force in my life. But in terms of like the community itself, sometimes I do like enjoying it a little bit more privately. Like I like being able to engage with it and have my opinions about it without it constantly being like a discourse or like having to explain it to other people. So I feel a little bit of both with that.
Yes, literally after sharing that like tweet, I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be tweeting about this because not everybody's gonna get it.
Yeah, and you don't need to be around the people that don't get it.
Exactly.
Yeah. That is so right.
I don't know if anyone has any closing thoughts, but those are all of my questions. If you don't, that's fine.
My closing thought is don't let the negative side of K-pop or like being part of the K-pop community like impact you too much, because I feel like that's an issue that is reoccurring in K-pop. And as long as you remember to enjoy it, whether or not it's like a dedicated enjoyment or like a casual enjoyment, as long as you're enjoying it, that's the only thing that matters. So
exactly, I feel like we've covered both the good and the bad here, so it's up to you to keep it healthy in your life.
Like at some point just set the phone down.
Just set the phone down. Take a step back, listen to the music, and just have fun. It doesn't have to be serious.
Or I would say just to like stay in the real world,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like you can admire someone, but you know, there's a very thin line from being like a fan and just delusional.
Like your own life.
Yeah.
Your own life is the most important thing. Like if you are that into K-pop that you're neglecting your real life responsibilities, maybe reconsider that.
Yeah, keep your feet on the ground.
Your life is important. Take care of yourself.
Delete that app.
Yes. Thanks for listening. We got some plugs in here. Sam, who are you gonna plug?
Guys, everyone stan ATEEZ, stan ZB1. I know ZB1's not a permanent group, but it's fun, guys.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna say
hire us.
I'm gonna say listen only one of, listen to Triple S. I just got into Nomad. Listen, hopefully they still exist by the time you listen to this podcast. But thanks for listening. This has been a long one, but we had a good conversation.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.